Hi guys, welcome to the deep ketosis video. This video is an upgrade from another video I did on YouTube entitled Keto on Steroids. Okay, so I did some tweaks and this is like the most hardcore extreme version of keto. If you really want to get into some deep ketosis, you're gonna need some keto strips. Urine strips will be fine. And you're looking for dark purple, okay? So I would recommend testing yourself in the early morning, midday, and at night. Keep it consistent, keep it sharp, okay? Because what's gonna happen, you're gonna eat certain foods, and we wanna know if maybe you have an allergy to it, or you might have a certain sensitivity with the food that knocks you out of ketosis. So it's just a good way to track your progress. Okay, so first thing is let's talk about carbs. The way you get into ketosis is through the reduction of carbohydrates. In the regular version of ketosis, we're recommending 20 to 50 grams of carbs, okay? We're gonna bring it down to near zero, but it's not gonna be exactly zero because the vegetables account for some carbs, maybe a half a gram of carb in eggs, for example. So it's gonna be pretty low. Now, we want to consume vegetables because it's gonna provide the nutrition that we need, but we wanna make sure that we do not bloat from these vegetables. You don't want to be bloating. You don't want to be retaining fluid. So we have to adjust the type of vegetables that you can digest. Leafy greens, salads work great for most people. So we want to do the vegetables. We're not counting those as our carb, but in the document below, I list the exact vegetables that you can consume and the ones that you can't consume, okay? Because we want vegetables that are low on the glycemic index. Now, even though vegetables have fiber, and fiber is considered a carbohydrate, fiber has zero effect on insulin. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Fiber is fed to the microbes in our gut, which then the microbes make butyrate, okay, or butyric acid, which is a compound that feeds the cells of your colon. It gives you energy. It also helps you regulate blood sugars. It improves insulin resistance. It lowers insulin. So this fiber will help you indirectly, okay? So that covers our carbohydrates. And no, you can't have berries on this, okay? This is more hardcore. We want to do this for people that have a very specific target. Let's say they're getting married and they need to lose some weight fast. Or let's say you have a lot of weight to lose and you're plateaued. This is good for people with a slow metabolism because what's going to motivate you is seeing consistent progress, fast progress, okay? And your hunger is going to go away with this. You're not going to crave. There might be a couple days of transition, but if you take certain nutrients, electrolytes, and B vitamins, you won't even have any symptoms at all. Okay, so we'll make some adjustments to the vegetables if you bloat. But the rule of thumb is you do not want to bloat. Again, it's on the document that's down below. Okay, so now let's talk about protein. Per meal, and I'm recommending you start it with 2 meals a day, okay, if you're new to this, and I'll get to that in a second, but you're going to be doing between 3 to 6 ounces of protein per meal. Now, what's going to determine if you do 3 versus 6 really is your size, your metabolism. So let's say, for example, you're small build and you're close to menopause and you're female and you have a thyroid problem, you're going to do 3 ounces, okay? If you're a bigger person, let's say you're a guy, maybe you're younger, better metabolism, do 6 ounces. Can you do a little more? Yes, you can do a little more, but make sure you don't go too high because when you start increasing your protein, you actually start to raise insulin. This is a moderate amount of protein. Moderate protein does not increase blood sugars, nor does it increase insulin, okay? Now, if you actually do lean protein, or you do low-fat protein, as in whey protein powder, you're gonna spike insulin. So we don't wanna do any protein powders, okay, with this program. We wanna do actual fish, meat, sardines. You can do pork. Some people don't want to do pork. That's fine. If it's high quality, you know, it might be better than commercial. Eggs, fatty steak. We want to do fattier protein. Why? Because that keeps insulin lower. And try to do wild-caught fish, grass-fed meats. I put a link down below of all the options of what types of protein you can have. But we definitely don't want to go lean meat. We want to do as fatty as possible. When you consume your protein, we want it to be also combined with the fat. So we want to consume foods that have the protein and fat together. Okay? Now, as far as the fat goes, we want to keep our fat below 75 grams. Now, a ketogenic plan is high in fat. It's 75% of your total calories being fat. Now, below in your document, I basically show you what that means so you could really see it, and it's not as much as you think. But we're going to reduce it just a little bit. We're not going to go low fat. We're just going to go lower to the point where it's going to force your body to run on your own fat. Because the last thing we want to do is load up on so much fat that, yes, you're burning ketones, but the ketones you're burning are not from you. It's from the diet fat. We want to avoid that. So we're going to bring it down to about 75 grams, maybe a little less. And I'm going to show you down below of what that means as a visual, and make sure we combine the protein and fat together. I'm not recommending you do dairy simply because there's too many people that have too many problems with dairy, and I don't want to risk any type of inflammation or bloating or allergy or anything like that. You can do a little butter in your cooking. You can also do a little olive oil in your salad. It's not going to be an issue. Okay, but I don't want you to do nuts either. Okay, now you can do a little bit of seeds, but they have a little bit of carb. So again, when we're talking about near zero, we're not talking about zero, near zero. Okay, so that's your fat. Now let's talk about intermittent fasting. Now, this is the new tweak that is not in the other video. When you're new to this, you want to start with 3 meals, no snacks, down to 2 meals, and down to 1 meal a day. Okay? Dropping your carbs like this is going to put you in ketosis a lot faster. And you are not going to be hungry because your body's going to switch to burning fat. So if you're not hungry, don't eat. Okay? So this pattern that I'm going to show you is going to be based on how you feel when you're hungry. So you may just do this, and the second day, you're not even hungry. So you go right to 1 meal a day. That's totally fine. Basically what I'm saying is let your body tell you when to graduate to the next level. But there's no snacking involved. You start off with 3 meals, no snacks, then 2 meals. And then I suggest squish those 2 meals together a little bit, closer and closer, till eventually you merge into 1 meal a day. But here's the tweak. You don't always want to eat at the same exact time all the time. You want to vary the time. So let's say, for example, you are at 1 meal a day. And you get up in the morning, you're not hungry, you go till 4 o'clock and you have your meal. The next day, you get up and you go, wow, I'm not even hungry at 4. Okay, then you became hungry at 6. You ate at that time. So you're basically letting your body tell you when to eat. Okay, this is very natural. On the evolutionary track in the past, this is what you did. You basically did not follow this exact pattern of eating. You ate occasionally if you found some food. Other days you didn't eat. So we want to mimic that. It's similar to what's called muscle confusion. When you're working out the gym, if you do the same routine over and over and over again, your gains, improvements decrease because your body is adapted to that. So you have to switch up your workouts. Okay? This is very similar. If you switch up your intermittent fasting, it keeps your body from getting into this plateau. So we have 1 meal rotated at different parts of the day. And if you're doing 2 meals, you can do the same thing. You could eat at between 12 and 5, and then maybe 2 and 7. You can kind of switch it around that way as well. But this is what I'm going to recommend that's probably going to make the biggest difference. You're going to do periodic prolonged fasting. Okay, and you don't even have to go really long, but you could you can even try this on a small gradient. Every week you go 48 hours, 2 days without eating. Every week you just go 48 hours, you don't eat. Okay, so that would be one way to do it. Another way, and a lot of people are doing this already, is you go 1 meal a day and the next day you don't eat. So you're doing one meal every other day. You're going to be comfortable with this because you're going to be in such deep ketosis that you're just not hungry. So you're like forcing yourself to eat. In fact, you're going to find that, wow, I was feeling really great when I'm not eating, almost euphoric, and now I feel like crap when I ate. So ride the wave and just go longer. And then when you eat, make sure it's high quality. Make sure it's a really good meal. Do not go low quality foods because that is going to set you up for nutritional deficiencies. Now, I put some examples of what I'm talking about in the document below, and you can just pick one that fits your lifestyle. Okay, we're not done. We're going to add high quality sleep to this. This is also going to help you. If you're not sleeping, you're not going to get into ketosis. If you have any problems with sleep, I'm going to put a link down below of how to do acupressure before you go to bed. Okay? I do it every single night. You can ask my wife. I go to bed so fast, within minutes. I go right out. I sleep through the whole night. I wake up 6 hours later and I'm ready to go. Now, I might take a nap during the day, but I found when I do keto and IF, the need for sleep dramatically goes down. I don't need as much sleep. In fact, I can't even lay in bed. My body just says, let's go. Okay, another great remedy to take is called Sleep Aid. I put a link down below. It's a natural supplement that I created to help your adrenals. Okay, it's for stress. Take one about a half hour before you go to bed. I also use that. Okay, exercise. Start exercising. If you can get a personal trainer, that would be best. But you don't want to do 3 times a week. It's much better to do 45 minutes of high intense full body workout with intervals, maybe once a week or twice a week. Okay, depending on your recovery. If you're new to this, once a week. If you're not, do twice a week. And eventually you can do 3 times a week. So there's a couple points about this. Make sure you just don't overtrain because that could stop your progress. So go by on how you feel. If you're tired and run down, just give it another day. The key is you want to be fully refreshed. And I would recommend before your workout to take a B vitamin in the form of nutritional yeast. That will help you. Now, if you wanted something very high quality, I would recommend, it's called mitochondrial energy. It has a very high-end B vitamin complex with other things to boost your mitochondria to give you more energy. Now, the other point that I want you to apply is to exercise in your fasting window. Okay, not your eating window, and your fasting window. So, for example, if you're at eating at 12 and 6, okay, you would not work out in between there. You would either work out well before that or well after that. That will just increase your ketosis even more, okay? Because you're tapping out your glycogen reserve and you're forcing your body to burn more fat. Don't overtrain, but make sure that it's intense enough to create the stress so then your body can adapt. When you're doing intermittent fasting, your body is going through something called autophagy, which it's recycling old damaged protein parts. So you're going to be healing and repairing after that workout, and you're going to get a better response than if you were eating frequently. Okay, so that's the exercise. The nutrients, apple cider vinegar, it's a must. Take some apple cider vinegar. You can take them a pill if you don't like to drink it. 2 tablespoons in some water, large, maybe 16 ounces in the morning. You can do it in the evening too. I kind of like doing it at dinner. And then add some lemon juice in there, maybe 1 or 2 ounces. Sometimes I put more. That'll prevent kidney stones. So, because what's happening is you're doing this fast and your uric acid does increase a little bit because it acts as an antioxidant to kill off microbes and clean the body. Because your body's in this like healing mode. It's in like a self-cleaning oven mode. So if the uric acid goes up, it's only temporary. It will come down over time. But the point is that if you're susceptible to getting kidney stones, there's a small chance that you can develop a uric acid stone if you don't consume enough citrates. So that's why we recommend lemon juice. So it's not going to be a problem. Okay, so these 2 are necessary. Apple cider vinegar will also help with insulin resistance. Okay, electrolytes. Get a good electrolyte. I have one, you don't have to take mine, but get something that's high quality because we want to make sure that we have enough minerals for our bodies to use, because when you go into ketosis, your body needs more of certain minerals, especially potassium, magnesium, and even sea salt, sodium. So we don't want to go low on the salt. You want to increase your salt a little bit. Maybe 3/4 to 1 teaspoon of salt per day. Not all at once, but maybe on your protein, or maybe a little bit in the water as you drink it. The way that you know that you're deficient in the salt or sodium is you feel weak. In the document below, I list all of the different symptoms and what you would do for each thing. Okay. B vitamins are also necessary as you do this because your body requires more B vitamins. I like nutritional yeast the best. Again, you don't have to do my brand. Find something that is high quality though, and also non-fortified, okay? Because we don't want the synthetics. So these are things that will speed things up and make a smooth transition so you're not having the symptoms of this keto adaptation. Okay, guys, I threw a lot at you. The document below covers everything nicely in a summary form so you can visualize things, but this is the plan to go into deep ketosis. So use it when you need it, but I wanted to create this just to give you all the possible things you can do to speed things up. All right, so your next step is to get started and then give me the feedback on how it goes. So if you want more knowledge on how to create a healthy body, subscribe now and get daily notifications. Daily notifications, that sounds weird. Well, I'll just remind you on a daily basis. How about that?